Hello, Internet. It's me, Jobin. A while ago, Pavlov Sandor tagged me to show my dream knife. And, well, it took a while, but it's finally here. This is it. No, I'm just kidding. This is Terrible Knives, Episode 2. This is a really weird knife. Now, I want to start off by saying that I think the safe money here is that this is a cheap copy of a higher-end production or possibly custom blade. I haven't done the research on that, but I just don't really see the Chinese knockoff shops, you know, coming up with a mechanism this weird on their own. And it is weird. So, a lot of the quality flaws I'm going to be talking about, you know, maybe the real thing would be better, but honestly, I think some of them are just part of the design. You know, you could make this with the best materials and high tolerances, and it would be still be a weird, pretty inconvenient knife. So let's jump right in. There are a couple things I like about this knife. It's very clever. It really is. Somebody with some engineering skill designed this. I like how the way it folds out, slides in and out like that. That's cool. And to give credit where credit's due, this is a sort of interesting lock design. Sort of similar to a balisong in the respect that when you're gripping the handle, the knife, theoretically speaking, can't close. Because to close the knife, this bar here and that bar have to get farther apart, and you're holding on and keeping them together. Practically speaking, though, this isn't really great. You end up with a system with vertical blade play, horizontal blade play, basically tons of blade play in every direction. This knife also has an ungodly number of screws on it. Seriously, there are 15 screws on this. And the way it's put together is really weird. Like, let's take a look at this arm here. See, with the 3 holes in it. See how it's in 2 pieces? Isn't that kind of strange? It has like a little steel bar, and then it has like almost like a, I don't know what it's made out of, some kind of metal, I think. A steel or alloy like scale on the top of it. But here's one of the problems with that. The last screw on it is midway along the thing. So even with the screws tightened down, it wiggles back and forth. And tightening down the screws is not easy because the tolerances are so poor that it almost seems like they aren't even quite all the same torque size. I mean, it's like, you know, you'll have to go like a size up on one of them, and then, you know, the next one will be a sloppy fit. And it's kind of a mess. This is also probably the first knife where I've ever been really glad that it came quite dull. And that's because as you close it, there's actually this weird point where it'll like kind of hang and stay on its own. Kind of like when you're pedaling a bike, if you have like one pedal all the way up and one all the way down, it's kind of hard to get the stroke going. It's sort of a hang point in the cam arrangement here. But this knife is one of the most aggressive close biases I have ever seen, and it can be kind of scary. Yeah, I've had my fingers in there a couple times when that happened. Definitely a learning curve not to injure yourself with this thing. And I've, on forums, I've seen people talk about having their knives bite them and stuff. You know, this one, it's kind of literal. As in, you know, there are moving parts that will actually, like, pinch you. Like, okay, so we're opening. Or actually, wait, no, I can demonstrate it like this. Let's say you want to open the knife two-handed. So you grab it here, and you pull on the opening hole. And it grabs your thumb. Fantastic. Great. Awesome. So let's say you want to open it one-handed. Well, grab it like normal. Not doing anything weird here. Why won't it open? I'm pushing with my thumb. Well, that's because this piece here has to go that way, and you're grabbing it and holding it in one spot. So the knife can't open when you hold it basically like you would to open a normal one-handed folder. So you have to slide your fingers back and do it like this. Ow! Damn it. I didn't even set that up or intend that. Ow. It just grabbed my pinky. Now, I'm sure you could get used to this and have this knife not bite you. But by God, why? It's a clever design, but it is a horrible tool. It is so overcomplicated. It has so many points of failure with this massive number of moving parts. I mean, good Lord. Why would anyone actually really want a knife designed and built this way? Let's talk about the pocket clip. The pocket clip is probably one of the most screwed up things on this entire knife. I would love to know if on the original, if there is an original, if the pocket clip was designed like this. Because, as I've said before, on a certain level, this is a very clever arrangement. You know, it took an engineer to design this, somebody with a knowledge of leverage and fulcrums and stuff. So, why would a person smart enough to design this locking mechanism and this opening mechanism build a pocket clip like this? It starts on this side, it's made out of thin material, it goes up, over, and down this side, which I could never build this mechanism. But I look at this, I'm like, wow, you just provided tons of leverage to bend the entire pocket clip out of shape. This is a terrible pocket clip. This is probably the worst pocket... Well, okay. The second worst pocket clip I have ever seen. The first worst pocket clip was made out of such thick material that I literally couldn't get it to clip to a pocket. I literally couldn't get the pocket clip to bend at all. This has the opposite problem. It has basically zero retention. I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning. I got this knife from Deal Extreme. Not a good place to get knives. You get either forgeries or stuff that's mediocre at best. There's maybe one or two decent knives on the site. It's kind of a nice little small pen knife. This wasn't expensive. And it is kind of funny. I mean, it is kind of a neat mechanism to play with. But it has basically zero practicality, in my opinion. It has way too many downsides for absolutely no advantages. And it's also heavy. I don't have my scale with me, but I think this is like a 5.5, 6 ounce knife. You know, for that amount of weight, which would you rather have? Damn it, pinch me again, God. You know, this or this. I think it looks really weird too. I swear, when it's open, it looks like a boot. Clump, clump, clump. Hello there, partner. Okay, I'm an idiot. But anyway, concluding thoughts. One of the cleverest knife designs I have ever seen, and one of the absolute worst knife designs I have ever seen. Just so many questions. Why? 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 Alright, folks, that's it. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Terrible Knives, and I'll be back with more later.